our podcast. Very happy to have you. Today's, we're gonna talk about the Faraday Future Robotics because it's a very unexpected company, I would say, because most people know Faraday Future for the electric vehicles.
Yeah.
But recently, the company launched an entire robotics division with humanoids, quadrupeds, and a vision they call physical AI. So
hmm
today we'll discuss, why that made this move and how robotics fits in the future of mobility and where they think the industry is heading over the next decade, right? So my first questions to you would be: most people think of a Faraday Future as an EV company. What made the company decide to move into robotics?
I think the short answer is simple. So we already made robotics for 12 years. So from the beginning, because I joined the company from scratch, currently I'm the global partner of Faraday Future. I'm also serve as co-CEO of FF AI-Robotics. I know the whole history of the company. The reason why I said we'll be making robotics for 12 years because from the beginning, all the way back to 12 years ago, we developed and made the car. We call that intelligent vehicles. We call that robot on wheels. We call it intelligent vehicles robot, car robot. So that's why we also think that the car is the most important artificial intelligent application scenarios as well. And then neutrally, we not turn, we just add a new business unit called robotics. It is the humanoid or quadruped robot. It's not car robot. So that's why we have the 12 years accumulated technology development capability. We have a team who are good at the software, artificial intelligence, internet. That's why we can do robotics right now.
Okay, great answer. And like you mentioned, you started many, many years ago before it was even, on the agenda, like today and every day we're thinking about AI and robotics. So what did you see happening in AI that convinced, your robotics was becoming commercially viable?
So firstly, regarding AI, I think we are in the critical moment, the transaction, from digital AI to physical AI, the transition. I mean, digital AI, everybody know that, for example, the large language, model, ChatGPT, Gemini, Cloud Code, etc., etc. Based on that, I think digital AI is making significant progress in the past years. But now we are entering the physical AI era. Digital AI is language-based artificial intelligence. The developers and they can learn from internet, the text, picture, video, sound, etc., etc. But physical AI is pretty different versus digital. Physical AI is pretty different versus digital AI because the physical AI you have to learn from the real world interaction through moving, touching, interaction, etc., etc. No any word or picture showing on the sky for you to reference, right? You have to train the robot from the interaction of the real world. So that's why I think now everybody, including you and me and everybody, we are entering the physical AI era. That's a huge opportunity and time window for all the market players. You know a lot of competitors or the great companies like Tesla, like Figure AI, they're making robotics because they also realize that the physical AI time or era is coming on the way. So we have to catch up this great opportunity to build a holistic physical AI infrastructure. So I always said that we are not building a simple robot. We are building the ecosystem. We are building the physical AI infrastructure through the robotics device, through the open source, open platform, through the EAI robotic brain development, through the physical AI data collection. Yeah.
Answer. Listen, you superseded a lot of my questions as well.
Yeah.
Listen, and comparing, I guess, digital AI to physical AI, which is very important. How much you think Faraday Future automotive technology from the past transferred directly into robotics that you're building right now?
So you mean from technology perspective,
Yeah.
firstly, yeah, I can introduce my team. We had a strong team already. For example, our CTO, he was first guy who was able to take Android to Asia, and then he developed the cell phone operation system. He was the leader in that project. And we have another leading engineer who was familiar with both autonomous driving, software development, as well as robotics. For example, recently we just hired leading engineer, and he got the best paper of this year for the computer science and robotics. So that's why we have strong team and we have the confidence to build the robotics.
Okay, listen, that's great. I mean, you're absolutely right. It's all about the team, People build the
Hmm.
company, And you
Yeah.
mentioned that obviously physical AI is very different from ChatGPT or any other, large language models. But where do you believe the actual intelligence actually lives inside a robot? Is it more on data analysis? Is it more on the actually humans operating robots?
From data perspective, regarding the data collection and for the robotics industry, previously there were two different technical approaches. One called egocentric, another one called teleoperation. In the past, every company has been focusing on the teleoperation because the data is more accurate. It's very good it's kind of user friendly for training the robot. But starting from this February, the whole industry was changed because the leading company like NVIDIA, like some leading university professors, they published a new paper and described that egocentric data is still helpful and useful and more cheaper than the teleoperation. That's why currently we got more and more higher demand regarding egocentric data. Currently, I think in the industry, different companies that are doing both, including the egocentric and teleoperation. In my mind, I think the both ways will be important. We cannot give up either of them. So that's very, very important. And you are asking me regarding the interaction, right? That's the second question.
That was second, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Interaction, yes, that's the most important features for robotics as well. Currently, we are deploying the robotics to the certain customers, like for example, hospital, and some robots can for the car dealership, etc., etc. So the robot can talk to the people, speak to the people into where different languages, and so another perspective, as I mentioned, the physical AI, um, data collection. We also need to train the robot with interaction with the real world. For example, we have the demo room for the robotics data training downstairs in our headquarters. We have some kitchen, living room, scenes, scenarios, and we can train the data through the interaction in the real, scenarios.
So that's great. I mean, it's all about like a real life approach, so you can train the actual humanoid robots what they need to do and how they apply that utility. And actually, speaking
Yeah,
of that, I know you guys introduced multiple robot families, including
yeah,
humanoids and quadrupeds. My
yeah.
question is, why launch several products instead of focusing on one product?
I think it is the a pretty unique, you know, competition advantage that we have because currently we call that three-in-one strategy. I just mentioned one is EAI devices, including different forms of robot. And second one is open source, open platform, EAI brain development. And third one is data collection. But another pillar is pretty important as well. We call that industrial solution. That means we have to find and deliver the robot into the customer with a clear and useful solution and to jointly develop the use case scenarios. And that's one perspective. Second perspective, robotics is not like a car because because I came from automotive industry, so maybe there are different maybe 4 to 5 different forms of cars, SUV, sedan, minivan, bus, etc. etc. But robotics is pretty different. It's like human. It's like different animals, right? There will be maybe more than 1,000, 10,000 different forms of robot. So no single robot can meet all the requirement from the physical world from different customers. That's why we're building the robotics world that including the humanoid robot, the full size, middle size, small size. We have the mobile manipulator. I mean the wheel-based robot. We have the quadruped. I mean robot dog. We are trying our best to match the different demand, different need, requirement from different customers. So that's the reason.
Okay, great answer. And
Mhm.
who are your first customers?
So our first customers, um, they're from Florida. The first customer, he's the owner of Airbnb. Airbnb. He's owning more than 200 houses in Florida and Las Vegas. They are building the first ever robotics theme, you know, Airbnb house, in Florida. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Interesting. And what kind of duties the robot will do there at the house? Like, are they going to be folding clothes, cleaning, stuff like that?
No, no, no. Now it's too early to do the housing work. So I think we still need a lot of time. Not only us, but also the whole industry. Just a reminder, if you see a video, the robot can do the housing work at house. That's just a video.
Yeah,
Please don't
of
believe
course.
that it's happening right now. They need a lot of time, data, training to make it happen. And so in the Airbnb house, they can do some greeting, interaction, reception job, hospitality job. That's it. Yeah. And
Okay.
companionship as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Of course.
Mhm.
Now, I understand. Yeah, obviously, it's going to take many minute dating points and collecting data, analyzing it. Probably, I don't know how many years actually adopting that to, like you said, whatever you see on the video nowadays on TikTok or YouTube is actually going to happen in real life without
Yeah.
the human operator operating the humanoid
Mhm.
robot, right?
Yeah.
And what do you think would be which industries will adopt these robots first, like healthcare or manufacturing or maybe security?
That's a great question. So we had four different use case scenarios, or we call that four different ecosystem. For us, the priority number one is education. And second one is security patrol and inspection. Third one is industrial scenario. The fourth one is others, including entertainment, hospitality, etc., etc. Why we chose education as our first use case scenarios? Because um, we realized that after the market research, that's the easiest way to deploy our robots in the school, in the labs, from the college into the workforce training. So, and the fact and the sales result did prove that we make the right decision. But we are we're not simply sell the robot itself. We're building the holistic education ecosystem. For example, we're selling robot. We also developing the curriculum for the robot. We also have some other skill set for the robot for the K to 12 students, for the even the college, for the workforce training as well. And our one of our biggest customer called the Skill Education Group, another one is the Triple I Education Group. They already purchased dozens of robot units. They are using that for kids, children's summer camp, art schools as well. Most importantly, what we are building is the ecosystem and the use developer skill star ecosystem as well. We are providing the opportunity for the students. They can develop, do some web coding and blog coding through our ecosystem to improve their capability in the physical AI era. So like my kids, my daughter, my son, they also start learning the physical AI through our robotics and our holistic ecosystem, which is very important. And the second point, secondly, for especially for the college research, everybody is trying to develop the skill set or publish some paper, and they are using the humanoid robot and robot dog a lot. So that's why we chose education as the first most important adoption scenario.
So that's a great answer. Definitely, education's I think one of the best, I would say product market fit out there you can find. And listen, me myself, I can only dream of probably like yourself back in our childhood that we could be our teacher could be a robot, something out of a sci-fi. But today it becomes reality.
Oh,
And
yes.
listen, that's amazing. That's definitely
Mhm.
amazing. It's like different times, like we live in the future. You
Yes.
know,
We are in the future. Yeah.
yeah. And
hmm
listen, let me shift gears a little bit. So let's talk about the competition, right? We all know that robotics market is becoming somewhat crowded, like including Tesla, Figure AI, Agility Robotics, Unitree. And how do you, as a Faraday Robotics, differentiate yourself from all those companies?
So that's a great answer as well. So firstly, Faraday Future is a pure US company. So we are competing with global competitors for sure. But so far, we realized that for the robotics company like Unitree, the China robotics company, they are entering the US market now, but we also see the risk for them. Robotics will be more sensitive than the electric vehicles. In the future, for them, maybe a little bit risky. I mean, from regulation, whatever perspective, or tariff perspective, or SCTS regulation, etc., etc. But we don't have the risk as a US company. So, for the US based, the US company like Tesla, the Figure AI, I think they're gonna take time to deliver the robot. I mean, to scale that robot. I think maybe they also need maybe more than a year to deliver the robot to the big amount of users. So that means currently our company, FF AI-Robotics and for the future, we will have at least a year time window, from the competition perspective, because we are already the first ever US company who's able to deliver both humanoid and quadruped robot. It's like all the way back to the launch event in February. A journalist asked me the question and interviewed me, and he said, "Why you are the first company to deliver a humanoid and quadruped? Why it matters?" My answer was yes, it matters because we are creating the Apple moment in the robotics industry, right? We are trying to disrupt the industry where we are changing the industry right now, but we were the first. That's very, very important. It really matters.
Yes, yeah, you nailed it. It's super important because it's a first move advantage. You're the first one to the market. Of course, I mean that's definitely number
hmm
one. Like you mentioned, you're the 100% US company. Definitely is gonna make your life much easier of
Yeah.
selling the hardware and software in the States. So
Sorry. Yeah.
that's okay, not a problem. Um, all right, let me ask you a few questions around the AI models that you're using at the Faraday Robotics. I mean, how many AI models do you actually run inside one robot right now?
AI models. Are you talking about LLM or?
Yes, I'm talking about like, well, it's both LLM and foundation models.
Currently, we are using the multiple models if we are talking about large language models. So, actually, as I mentioned, we are building the open source, open platform. I think no single company can be successful during the competition. We are building the open ecosystem. We are welcoming all the market players to work with us to join the ecosystem and to push the industry move forward. It's like why NVIDIA, the big company like NVIDIA, Apple, Google, Meta, they are so successful because they are building the ecosystem. Like NVIDIA, they have CUDA, right? They have whatever the iStack. Apple, they have App Store. They have iOS open platform. So we are open our doors to all and welcome all the developers to join our ecosystem to make our, robotics better.
I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. Like open source is the best. I mean, you make this collective move towards the, future that benefits everyone, and how they win, it's how good is your hardware, right? It's at the
Yeah,
end of the
yeah,
day,
yeah. Yeah,
so it's
the purpose for making the open source platform, open platform, that mean in the future, probably we can, the mode can be established. So the competition mode, and nobody can, you know, compete with us if we can do a good job from this perspective. Yeah.
that's great. And my follow-up question, what role does the vision language models play in the robotics?
So actually, the VLA model, like the vision you mentioned, currently is still the most popular solution from vision perspective. A lot of companies making that through the VLA, but there are other companies they are working on the world model. So through the simulation to train the robot to develop the robot something like that. But I think it's still too early to just utilize word model only. So that's why our strategy is that we have a plus word model to utilize both of the technology approaches to leverage their advantages from different approaches to develop and the robotics and make our robotics better, and including the data training and collection as well. Yeah.
Okay, you're absolutely right. Like it's all about data collection and training, specifically, the simulation in real life. And how much of that real world data does a robot need before it becomes actually commercially useful, so to speak?
That's a good question, but I think for different robots, the answer gonna be different. But since you are asking for the how many hours of data that we need to develop and deliver a robot, to be honest with you, I don't have the clear answer, firm answer about that. But one thing I can share with you, I think for this year, a lot of data collection companies in the US, as far as I know, their target is at least 1 million hours within a year. Yeah, but I think
Okay,
yeah, so for from data, if you treat data as a business model, as a business, maybe the entry level is 1 million hours to be a great company and to attract the investors. Yeah.
okay. Great answer. So we all know that I think building hardware is very expensive, right? And what do you think about this unit economics around building robots, specifically in the Faraday future?
Yeah, that's a good question. So unit economics actually, um, all the companies in the world they are utilizing the supply chain and the supplier ecosystem from China. So including Tesla, including some other companies, we are doing the same thing as well. We are utilizing the China supplier ecosystem to build a robot. So from cost perspective, cost economic perspective, one data I can share with you, because you also can check our financial report. Our contribution, our gross margin, was very high. So I think that's a great achievement that we have. But after scale, after we deliver more and more robot, the gross margin will getting lower. But it's still from economic perspective. it is still a good business. Yeah,
Okay.
especially in the early stage of the market. But in the future, if more and more competitors join the market, the margin will be getting lower. Yeah.
No, it's great since you're already a very established company, so you have all the supply chains in place and you have the actual facilities. So I think it makes it much easier and more smarter to actually move into robotics nowadays. And let me ask you, I think one of the last questions. Imagine we're sitting here 10 years from now, and what does, Faraday Robotics will look like?
Our target is very clear. Uh, for example, 3 years later, we can foresee that a lot of competitors in the marketplace. But if 3 years later we can sit down together again, you can ask me a question like this. I can give you an answer. Hey, for the future FF AI-Robotics, we are the maybe top three leading companies in the robotics industry. I think that means I already achieved my goal. Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
great. Thank you so much for this conversation. I wish you and the company all the best, and I hope to see the, Faraday Robotics humanoid robots like everywhere, serving me coffee in a Starbucks, greeting me at the Airbnb, and, helping people at the grocery store. So thank you so much.
That will happen for sure. So the last sentence. Somebody asked me whether the robotics will replace human. My answer is no. So in the past, robotic AI was just tools, and currently AI is becoming collaborator. But in the future, I think the symbiosis will happen between robot and human. It's not about robot replace human. We can
That's
live
great.
together. Yeah. Thank
Well,
you.
which, all right, thank you.